It's time for Cox and Crendor.
Crendor In The Morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4 hour recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's the next Crendor In The Morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cox and Crendor In The Morning.
Hey, we're almost there.
Would you say that we're halfway there? Whoa, we're halfway there?
No, I think we're over halfway there.
Are we living on a prayer, though?
No.
Oh, well, all right, then.
Yeah,
Never
and
mind.
we're also not whole bond of Jovi. Heh heh.
I like how you fake laughed at your own thing. Bon Jovi.
Sometimes you gotta fake laugh at what you said.
You really did. You really just gave up on that. You're like, ha. Jokes. You did become the count. You became the count a little bit. Like, 1, 2, 3 Bon Jovis.
This is, by the way, this is our 99th episode.
Wow, we should probably do something special for the 100th, but
Yeah.
we won't.
We
We
should have-
won't.
We should have TB show up for like 10 seconds and be like, "What is this? Where am I?" And then he's just, that's it. That's the 100th episode.
But we gave away the bit then, if that's what we were
Oh.
gonna do. So we can't do that now.
All right. I got nothing.
What if for our 100th episode we get 2 other people besides us to do it, but they're
Like-
bad, and it makes people appreciate how good we are.
Yeah, like Dodger and Sam.
Wow, that they are bad.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty awful podcast.
I'd like to imagine there's a world where people only listen to this podcast and don't know who either of those 2 people are.
Yeah, they're probably, who are those
They're like,
losers?
who are those assholes? You
all
know,
you
Dodger
need
and
to know.
Sam, the other morning show. Tiny in the English.
What?
Tiny in the English. Yep.
Tiny in the English.
That's the worst name for a morning show. Speaking of English, I'm back. I'm back from
Oh,
the
yay.
UK.
You're back from the jolly old land of United Kingdoms.
Yep, let me tell you something. When I was over there watching TV, I realized American TV is 12 jillion times better. I don't care what anyone in the world tells you. They have like 90% of their channels are crap, and they have 3 that are okay, but most of what they have on like the only show I enjoyed thoroughly was a show called Gogglebox, which is
Oh, yeah.
literally a show of people watching TV that was on that week.
Yeah, you showed me that one.
It is ridiculous. I actually enjoyed that, but 90% of the shows they have are game shows and nature shows and like news shows, and I don't care about any of this.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I did discover that I love Nando's, which is a chicken place. I think
Oh,
it
yeah?
might be my favorite thing in the world.
I
and
heard
that
those
was-
are also on the East Coast.
They are, but I'm not on the East Coast. I know you're
Yeah,
not on the
me
East
either.
Coast, so it doesn't matter to us. But I did
Yeah.
find that they sold in grocery stores there. They sold Nando's sauce, so I might have bought and illegally smuggled a ton back. Maybe, supposedly,
shit.
maybe I did that.
That's a possibility.
And I
of
might
what
have gone to
happened.
Subway and gotten a chicken sandwich at Subway and not gotten anything on it but veggies and chicken, so I could come home and pour that sauce on it. I might have done that, and then I might have had burnt my mouth because it was so hot because it got extra hot. Maybe, supposedly, and it was delicious.
Really just theories, though.
Yeah, you can't pin anything on me, coppers, because I know you're listening.
Yeah, they're listening, but they're probably wanting some Nando's right now,
Oh, they're
too.
probably like, oh, it's so good, they must have it. A lot of people, my favorite thing was the comments were either this. I said, I love Nando's, and it was either, that's the best place ever, or, overrated. So basically, Nando's is the Justin Bieber of British restaurants.
Either hate them or like them.
Either hate 'em or like 'em. I did, however, experience such an awful day of travel that I think I transcended reality.
Dude,
So, on the way back, coming home, I lucked out, and because my flight was a little bit delayed and stuff, I got to go to the Virgin Airlines Executive Lounge area.
Ooh.
I know. They were like, well, you're not first class, but you're like that one in between. right? Because there's no way I pay the $8,000 or whatever it is to fly. It's super expensive.
Yeah.
But I'll pay a little bit more so I don't get crammed in the back. So I'm like in that middle section.
Yeah,
and
the
so they're like, well, you know what? It's going to be delayed and stuff. Just go. We'll give you a little thing. I was like, yay, I have a note saying I get to hang out with all the corporate people. So I walked in there and I was very happy. And then I realized that was the start of the end for me.
Oh.
So what happened was I got there and then I started to charge my iPad because I'm going to play my iPad stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess the power outlet or whatever, I don't know what happened, but it overcharged or something, and it broke my iPad charger. Like, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you what happened. It broke the charger, so my iPad was out of juice.
Damn.
And then I was like, well, maybe I'll charge my 3DS. Went to go put that in. Nope. 3DS apparently does. I guess I broke my adapter is what happened, I guess.
Oh.
But nothing charged. So I had no power at all for anything.
For a
so
long
I was about to
flight.
get on an 11-hour flight without any fun things to do. So I was like, I guess I'll watch movies.
Yeah.
So the plane's late. The plane finally arrives. I get on the plane. At this point, I am filled up on booze and alcohol and all sorts of stuff.
Booze and alcohol.
I know. I'm a mess. Get on the plane. Sit down. Within 10 feet of me in every direction are 3 babies. There's a baby 2 rows in front, a baby 2 rows off to the side, and a baby 2 rows in back of me.
Oh.
So as the plane takes off, like all babies, they start crying crazily. And it's like they're trying to outcry the other baby because they just won't stop. And it gets louder and louder, and the higher we get, it's like screeching. And so I put on the headphones that they gave us to watch movies, and I just try to block it out. But I'm also very drunk at the time, so I'm just like, oh, God, this is not good. So I try to watch the movie, turn on the movie thing, and it's in black and white. Everything's in black and white. And the one of the flight attendants comes over and is like, sorry, sir. Apparently, I forgot to tell you, your row only has black and white. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, there was a problem, and black and white is what you're going to have to deal with. I was like, that's fine.
Traveled back to the 1950s.
I was like, it's fine. You know what? I don't care too much. Black and white's fine as long as there's something for me to do on an 11-hour flight.
Yeah.
About an hour into, flying,
Yeah.
all the video feeds cut off. An announcement comes on saying that in the economy cabin, there is a problem with the video, so we're going to cut it for everyone and try to fix it. So I guess the people even further behind me were, because I was like in economy plus, and they were like in normal economy.
Yeah.
You know.
Losers.
Yeah, oh God. And so I guess they didn't have any video, right? And so
Yeah.
they turned it all off, and then they tried to turn it back on. It broke for everybody. So even people in first class didn't have any TV. So now I'm on an 11-hour flight, hungover from drinking, 3 crying babies, nothing to do. And it was in this time that I just stared off in the distance because I couldn't sleep. The chair only went back so far, and there was a dude with like mega knees just gouging into my back the entire flight, so I couldn't even lean the chair back. And so I just stare off into the distance, and I notice, I swear to God this is true, I'm not even joking, I notice a speck of dust. And I didn't know if it was because we were flying through the air or because like we were high, I don't know. But it wasn't falling, it was just floating in the air.
What?
And I just stared at the speck of dust as the sun from outside, because this was a day flight. So I wasn't even tired. I was just drunk. It was like 2 in the afternoon. I was drunk from drinking, waiting for this damn flight to take off because it was super late. I am staring off at this piece of dust floating in the sky, and I had an epiphany.
Uh-huh.
So what if I'm surrounded by babies? So what if I have nothing to watch? So what if this guy's knees are in my back? If my international charger is dead? If I might have broken my iPad? You know what? So what?
Yeah.
I'm so lucky and so fortunate to just be alive and be healthy and have an amazing job. And I stared at this piece of dust, and I was like, yeah, I'm so thankful. Bam! 3.5 hours of turbulence. I was so sick.
How sick were you?
Drunk, sick, and I just lay there, nothing to do. And so I just closed my eyes and half slept it wasn't a full sleep. It was like I was awake, but just dead inside.
Awake, but dead inside.
And 11 hours later, I landed in LA and I just walked off the plane. The only thing that made it better was when we landed, and this is why I didn't tweet up a storm, like angrily tweet about it, is because when we landed, Virgin was like, here's the deal. We're going to give you all a bunch of airline miles. And we were like, yay! So now I can actually afford upgrades, which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to hate them for that. It was 11 hours of suffering, but for 20,000 airline miles. Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Insane amount of miles. I was like, all right, cool. I'll take that.
Free stuff.
So, yeah, it balanced out in the end, but it was still the most taxing experience
A
of my
living
life.
hell.
It really was. It really was awful. But the pilot, I will say, was a joy. The pilot, I don't know if he went to acting school, but he was this British guy, and he got on the intercom. He's like, "Hello and welcome aboard Virgin Atlantic Flight 007. Together on this voyage, we shall transcend the bonds of gravity together and soar, much like the eagles, through the sky to the Americas and over that great continent to the port of Los Angeles." It was amazing.
It's like Shakespeare flying.
It was amazing. And he kept doing throughout the entire flight, he'd be like, "On this daytime trip, note out the left side of the plane, you can see Antarctica." Oh, wait, I guess it'll be the Arctic. Whatever. He's like, "You can see the Arctic Circle. Note nature's majesty." It was so good. It was so good. That guy might have saved the flight for me. Or I was so drunk that I imagined it all. But
it's a very, very likely possibility.
I mean, I wasn't drunk. I was just tipsy. I was tipsy.
You probably envision that speck of dust. It's probably just it's nothing.
Yeah, well, see, I got to the lounge, right? And I had never been in the Virgin Atlantic Super Lounge before. So I walked in, and some woman gave me champagne right off the bat. So, of course, I drank that.
Yeah.
Then another woman came over and was like, "Would you like another drink?" And I was like, "I'll have a gin and tonic." And then 2 of those later, right, I was sitting there waiting, and, I had nothing to do then except drink and sit at the bar and talk to random strangers. And because people were drinking at the bar, more drinks just kept getting ordered. Because it was all free, I was just like, all right, sure, I'll have another. So it was me and a bunch of guys in business suits. I was me in a black hoodie and jeans with a bunch of dudes in business suits. They must have thought I was some genius tech guru or something. Well, he doesn't even need to wear a suit. I was like, yeah, that's me.
I started up Facebook.
Yep. So
did you talk to them?
Yeah, they were all they were all international business traveler guys who flew all the time. So they always were in first class, and they were like, "So, first time first class?" And I was like, "Nah, I do it all the time. I travel the world first class." And they're like, "That's cool, yeah. So what do you do?" And I was like, "I work for a studio." And they're like, "Oh, what studio?" I was like, I'd rather not talk about it.
Gotta keep them guessing. You gotta be mysterious.
Yeah, but then there were these 2 girls who were sitting next to me, who I guess didn't know each other, but by the end of 11-hour flight with no entertainment were besties. And one was, I think, basically Doogie Howser, MD. Doogie Howser. It was Doogie Howser, MD. It was like this Indian girl who was 16, going to college at Harvard, but also simultaneously attending a med school in the UK.
What?
Exactly. And then the other girl next to me was like, "I'm a business major." And they became best friends. I guess they were both there visiting people, and then they were coming back to the States, but they were just sitting there chatting each other up, and they were just... See, I had pre-gamed and drank before I got on the flight, which
Yeah.
is probably dumb because when I got on the flight, I didn't want anything to drink but water. But these girls were just like ordering more and more drinks, and so they just sat there because like basically when the TVs went out, they just were like, all right, well all the food's free now. Like that was their. So everyone was ordering like all the Virgin. You can get all sorts of.
All
So
the
people were ordering
expensive
like
things.
all sorts of crazy stuff. So these girls were down in who knows what. And I was just laying there like, I just want to die. staring
let me die.
Staring at pieces of dust. Like, I would literally settle for any movie right now. Oh, God.
Watching Surgeon again.
I just know this is the worst. And so, apparently what I did see, which I thought was pretty funny, is they had DVD players that you can, like, rent. But they gave them all to the first class people. So they're all sitting there with like little DVD players in their hands watching movies. I'm like, oh, you lucky bastards. But I will say, I looked up into the front and, there's like first class that you normally see. And then there's international first class.
Yeah.
I did fly it once flying back from Poland many years ago when I got upgraded for free because they overbooked the flight. Right?
Yeah.
I think I've told this story before, and it was like the best experience of my life. Like I had my own butler and shit. So anyway, I looked at this first class. They have a bar. They have a bar on the plane.
Whoa.
Virgin Atlantic has a
legit
bar on the plane.
Damn.
I was like, man, I want to be famous on the internet so I can afford that.
Can you use all your miles you got towards that?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know the mile to dollar conversion rate, but I did look up when I got home how much that would have cost, and it's about $7,000 round trip.
All right. So
like, that's
a car.
unnecessary. That's like the things you could do with $7,000
Yeah.
that
do a lot of
rather than
things.
pay for an 11-hour flight. Oh man, if I'd paid that much money and then been forced to have nothing, I maybe would have jumped out of the plane. Like, fuck y'all! Kicked open the door, put on a parachute, just jumped out over the Atlantic. Like, I'm out! I can't do it!
You just land like, well, that was dumb.
The pilot's like, and now, if you look out the left side of the plane, Jesse Cox descends gracefully to the planet below.
Where he'll freeze. And
In the murky waters of the northern Atlantic.
So it's like a polar bear there. And that's what'll happen.
Yep, so that's what happened to me. It was a horrible flight back. Everything was wonderful. Up at, like, England was wonderful. Being back home was wonderful. But that 11-hour block of time was just the worst. Just the worst.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
with all the added worseness.
Well, guess what? You get to travel for 11 hours on a plane going to CoxCon. So yeah.
I only travel 7.5 hours.
Oh, that's right. Fuck you.
That's not terrible.
Whatever. It is terrible. You're a terrible person.
What did I do
God.
while you were in the UK? I tried to become a DJ. I'm still working on it.
How's that working out?
I'm gonna be a DJ straight edge because I don't do drugs. So straight
You
edge.
were the least cool DJ there ever was.
And then I'm gonna have very just like mundane beats.
That are like, don't do drugs.
But people are gonna like just do drugs to it because they'll be like, man, it's telling me not to do drugs. This is great. I'm gonna do some drugs.
That's because if you play your songs backwards, they're like, drugs make you.
That's what I'm gonna do. So I've been working on that.
Your number one song is gonna be like, drugs are not good for you. There are no beats. It's just a voice. Drugs. Don't do drugs. Yummy drugs.
Just
Don't
people
do
like,
drugs.
dude,
That
this
make
is
you
like,
feel good. Don't do drugs.
This is like new age, man. This is what I've been dreaming about.
Drugs.
Just get
will
rid of
help
the
you get
background
laid.
noise.
Don't do drugs. Like, it's a weird mixed message in this song. Drugs will take away your pain. Don't do drugs.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. It'll be like the Ultra Festival, and they'll invite me as like the closing act to really just calm everyone down. There won't be any fireworks. There'll be no fun.
Closing. Everyone's really hyped. Like, no, your first song, you come out and it's like, boop! It's like this like hardcore beat, like, bah, 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 bah. And then right as it's about to drop, it goes, ba 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 ba. Drugs. Don't do drugs.
That's it.
And then that's it. The next 45 minutes is that one song on repeat. Drugs.
Yeah, I'm like twisting the knobs and like hitting the like drum pads and stuff, even though nothing's coming out.
You're freaking out dancing. You're like going crazy. You have one hand on your headphones and you're like, yeah. Your fist into the sky, like, yeah. It's just like, drugs. Don't do drugs.
That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, that'll be the way I'll be number one selling track DJ, best selling author.
Because it really is like the written word.
Yeah. Game of the year.
You're going for the EGOT of life.
Yeah. I want to be the Oprah, but on a lesser scale.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna do
Perfect. I believe in you.
Sweet. Yeah.
I also believe in going to chop the cops over the sky. Crendor, how's that traffic out there?
Oh man, it is crazy. I can't actually see anything because it is pouring rain up here. But I can turn on my radio and what's the song we got playing? Drugs.
Lightning sounds.
Don't do drugs. Drugs. Don't do drugs. Alright, I'm gonna turn that off. The radio doesn't have a lot of good things today, but one good thing is Callum McCormick. Callum McCormick is flying by the chopper copter. He's created his own chopper copter. It appears he's made it out of toothpicks and scrap metal. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but he at least got his shout out in the chopper copter. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. Wow, that chopper copter sounded like it was going crazy. Not sure what was going on there.
Probably doing drugs. Shouldn't do those.
Drugs. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
That's our song. What is happening in the weather besides rain, apparently?
In the weather, let's see. What's happening besides rain? Whoppy activated.
Is Whoppy voice activated now?
Grovertown, Indiana. 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind southeast 5 miles per hour. Humidity 70%. Today, 67 degrees. Tonight, 48 degrees. Thursday, 63 degrees. Rain, 80%.
Whoppy's sounding more human. Are you building a cyborg?
Nah, I just keep tweaking them.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
And what's
tweets.
happening in sports?
Or not tweets. I don't know what's happening in sports. Let's find out. All right. Hold on. Where's my sports news? Sports news. The Rays have acquired Erasmo Ramirez from the Mariners in baseball, which nobody cares about. Luol Deng, he's going to be out Tuesday versus the Spurs. He's got a knee problem.
I thought you were saying like, Luol, dang, it's going to be out.
No, that's his name. Luol Deng. He used to play with the Bulls. Now he doesn't. He's kind of
got a badass name is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then in the football, not actual football, like NFL football, a lot of free agency has been going on.
Well, then you can't say it like that. Because I thought you were talking about football, not football.
No. A lot of free agency has been going on, and teams are signing players. The Bills have been signing people that aren't going to be good. I like to go to this one guy's website. It's pretty good. He rates the signings, and that's
I like to think that
thing
you
I
mean
do.
he rates their signatures. This guy's signature's not very good this year.
what a great signature.
Definitely shows the shaky hand.
His name's Walter Football. I always read his stuff every week because it's pretty funny. He gives people that have a terrible grade that's below an F, he gives them the Kielbasa grade. Because there's Matt Millen, and he's a really bad manager of the Lions that he was the manager of their 0-16 season, and apparently he made some like kielbasa comment about some guy. So he was like, "Oh, look at that kielbasa there." So.
Wait, did he call a man a kielbasa?
Yeah.
Wait,
look it up.
wait, what is it? I need to look this up. What does a kielbasa man look like?
Kielbasa.
Yeah, I know what the sausage looks like. What is
There it is. Matt Millen apologizes for Polish joke on ESPN's draft.
what does a kielbasa man look like, though? What does that look like? There's a man holding a whole bunch of kielbasa.
Well, that's what a kielbasa looks like.
There's a man shouting, apparently from the WWE. He was like, "Do you not see this fine plate of kielbasa?" There's a picture of Michelle Bachmann deep-throating a kielbasa.
What?
There is an old-timey photo of a guy going, "Vegetables? Da, we have kielbasa." Apparently, there's a whole bunch of photos of women deep-throating kielbasa. I'm not sure I feel comfortable looking at this now. I mean,
this is getting
live
kinda
on
weird.
radio. This
Yeah.
will be for later. Yeah. Kielbasa. And then there's a man in nothing but underwear sitting on a chair with a mask.
What?
Look, I looked up kielbasa man.
That's what kielbasa man does?
Do you think I want to answer your questions while I'm eating kielbasa? What is going on with this WWE video?
I don't even know. Why is there so much kielbasa?
Kielbasa.
It's just another term for sausage.
I don't,
Oh, you're right. There are a lot of people deep-throating the keel.
yeah, man, this is... Apparently that is... I'm sorry, the keel?
Yeah, the keel. They gave it a nickname.
The keel, yeah.
It is a type of Eastern European sausage, also known as Polish sausage, Ukrainian sausage. Oh yeah, didn't we talk about that?
Oh, I like this one. 2010 Kielbasa Fest. And it's a picture of a kielbasa riding a motorcycle with a German girl on the back.
Whoa.
Yep.
Oh yeah, some of one of our fans called it out on Patreon. They're like, Polish sausage is actually called kielbasa. I remember that. That was like 6 or 7 episodes ago.
I like that they have a Kremazuk's Kielbasa Fest.
Kielbasa fest, friends.
And it's just a bunch of all the posters for this thing are just a German girl swallowing kielbasa.
That's probably why they have it.
Oh Lord. All right, well, that's sports.
Oh yeah. Now, they have pierogies
What is
too.
our big news story
I don't
of the
really
day?
like pierogies.
Pierogies are great. F you.
I don't really. I like sauerkraut more than pierogies.
That's just as good.
Yeah, I like sauerkraut.
All right, what's our big news story of the day?
All right, I'm just gonna take this time to talk about something I saw on TV.
Wait. Sure. All right.
So, I was looking through the TV stations, and I started to go to like the deep channels, like the ones nobody watches, right? Like,
You know, the deep channels, deep in the channels.
yeah. And so it's like around channel 300 or something, and I found Fox Business,
Mm-hmm.
and they had on Imus in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and so I clicked it, and Imus
He's an old man, an old, weird-looking man.
is an old, weird-looking, crazy man, and he's my new favorite thing to listen to in the morning.
What? Why?
Because he's just so old, like senile and crazy.
He's
like
the guy. He's the guy, if I recall correctly, who got in trouble for like making fun of a basketball team by calling them, like nappy-headed hose or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably him. So
Like, oh, you're like,
where's-
yes, he's that racist. He's that racist.
so like, okay, so they got like a round table of people, right? And they're just like, he sits there and he's like, so what are we gonna talk about today? What are we gonna talk about today? And then the one guy's like, well, there's a plane crash over here. He's like, so what happened? What happened with the plane? And he's like, well, the plane was going over the water, and it appears the pilot was whatever. And he's just like, what? We don't even know. We don't even know what happened. What happened? And it's like, well, there's not a lot of facts coming out of things. Like, well, there's no facts. Well, we'll get the facts. Where are the facts? And he's like, there's no good sources coming from. We just have what we have. And he's like, well, that's dumb. Why would we even bring it up? Let's move on to the next topic. Like, that was legit a segment of their show. I was like, this is so great. No, I watch that every morning.
That's not great. Is not the word I would use to describe that show. It's just an old senile man. Like, okay.
Oh my god.
And you give him too much credit. He doesn't talk. He mumbles. He's like,
Look at this. I got.
Today we're gonna
Okay.
talk about your show.
Look at that. I liked your thing. That's a Snapchat I took for 6 seconds of him that actually happened. Just listen to it and report back.
All right. So first off, people listening,
Isn't it great?
people listening. It's so nice that we're on a podcast and this is a visual gag.
If you want to see it, go to my Twitter.
It's from March 26th.
Yeah, March 26th.
2:43 a.m.
Yeah, twitter.com/wowcrendor. Just go to March 26th.
The way he filmed this is either at a slant or Imus's head is so huge. He looks like a bobblehead with crazy hair. And he literally just goes, I'll tell you that. That's the clip Crendor got.
He's like,
And that's exactly right.
that's a funny, but it's like,
Yep.
what? Like, that's what oh my god, the show never disappoints.
I'll tell you
And they're all like super Fox, like conservative or whatever on that show too. So he's like, what's happening over that place? And they're like, well, over in there's the Shiites and whatever. He's like, the Shiites? They don't believe in Jesus. And they're just like, no, I don't think so. And he's just like, I don't know. Then they had this guy come on. He's this fat, like, bald guy, and he's just like,
Yeah?
I'm gonna rant about some stuff for you. And he just like goes on a rant. He's like, people at places, they got their cell phones out. Put your cell phone away, you idiot. And that's like his whole rant, but he does it about a bunch of things.
What?
The
other day, I saw a man on the subway. Take a bus, you idiot.
That's exactly what it is, though. This is like that's a segment on his show. Is this guy just talking for like 2 minutes about that?
I was reading the newspaper, and there was an ad. Get out of my paper, you idiot.
And then, oh my god, and then Imus was just like, Obama. I'm telling something about Obama. I don't mind the guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. He's probably the worst president we ever had. I was like, wait, what? You're just like contradicting yourself so hard.
Oh, Fox News.
So, that's...
I don't hate the guy. I'm sure he's wonderful. But he is the devil.
Oh my god. So I found that. I watch that like every morning now. And...
I like how that's your news story. Dude, this just in. Crendor watches Waste of Time Crazy Man. No shit. I think we all knew.
So, it's called Imus in the Morning if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Or look up some clips online. You'll see the
Oh
craziness.
no, now I need to look up clips.
Yeah, gotta look
Hold
up
on.
clips.
Hold on. Why does he wear a cowboy hat?
I don't know. I guess he used to, and now he stopped.
Well, here's the best part. Imus used to be on MSNBC. Now he's on Fox. That is
Yep.
amazing.
He has to adjust to wherever he is.
Did you send me the crazy guy? Oh yes,
Yeah.
I'm into this.
Yeah.
Godfather on ISIS threatening Pope Francis.
Yep, and it's the Godfather is the old fat guy I was talking about.
Yes. Why is he the Godfather?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay, so literally it's just this guy like, we don't need to worry about ISIS because they're Mexicans in Elmo outfits.
Yeah.
That's literally
That's
the
what-
joke here. The
that's
joke
what I
here is he's
said.
like, we don't need to worry about ISIS because Mexicans. Like, what? Wait, what? Yep. That sounds about right.
Guys said there's a bunch of crazy people.
All right, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next time with another episode, and as always, to be continued.